Imagine this. You're grinding through another 9 to -5. Paycheck hits the account, and poof, it's gone before the month ends. Bills, groceries, that unexpected car repair. Sound familiar? Now picture someone pulling in 6 figures. Same story. No savings, no buffer, just treading water. That's the salary trap in action, and it's not just for the underpaid. It's the quiet force keeping millions broken in a system designed that way. Right now, in early 2026, nearly a quarter of U.S. households, 24%, according to Bank of America.Are, living paycheck to paycheck, spending over 95% of their income on basics like housing and food. That's up slightly from last year, but the real kicker: even high earners aren't immune. 1 in 4 making over $100,000 feels the squeeze, and for those between $300,000 and $500,000, it's 41%. Absurd, right? You'd think big money means freedom, but the trap snaps shut anyway. Why does this matter today? Because the gap between what you earn and what life costs is widening faster than ever. Inflation cooled to about 2.7% in 2025, down from the 8% peak in 2022, but wages? They grew around 3.8% nominally last year, leaving real gains at a slim 1.1% after adjusting for rising prices. Meanwhile, wealth inequality hit a post-war high. The top 1% now controls 31.7% of all U.S. wealth, $55 trillion, while the bottom 50% scraps for just 2.5%. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as intended for the few. Let's pull back the curtain on how this trap really works. It starts simple. You trade your time for a salary. Fixed hours, fixed pay. Seems straightforward, like a deal you can count on. But here's the first crack: dependence. One income stream means one point of failure. Lose the job. Income vanishes overnight. No fallback. No passive flow. Remember 2020? Millions laid off in weeks. Stimulus checks barely plugging the hole. Salaries promised security, but delivered vulnerability. Now layer on inflation, the silent thief. Prices climb steadily. 1.2% in 2020, jumping to 4.7% in 2021. Peaking at 8% in 2022, then easing to 4.1% in 2023, 2.9% in 2024, and 2.7% last year. Wages tried to keep up. They grew 2.8% in 2020, surged 8.9% in 2021 amid labor shortages, then slowed to 5.3% in 2022, 4.4% in 2023, and 4.8% in 2024. But averages hide the truth. For many, raises lagged behind costs. A 3% bump feels good until rent jumps 5%, groceries 4%. Suddenly, you're poorer on paper. Enter lifestyle creep, the sneaky accomplice. Salary ticks up, so does spending. Bigger apartment, nicer phone, another streaming service. It's human. Reward yourself after the grind. But irony strikes. Even at $200,000 a year, surveys show over half live check to check. Debts pile up, emergencies hit, and poof, savings? What's savings? The trap deepens because salaries don't compound like assets do. Work harder, maybe get a promotion, but your money, it sits idle in a checking account earning pennies. Let's contrast that with the stock market. The S&P 500 has averaged about 10.3% annual returns over the last 30 years. Dividends reinvested. Invest $10,000 today and let it ride. It could grow to over $17,000 in 5 years at that pace. But in the salary trap, you're too busy paying bills to invest. No compounding, no growth. Just endless trading hours for dollars.
For real-world money thinking, follow Wealth Vector Finance.
Step back further. The system whispers promises. Get educated, land a steady job, climb the ladder. Hype says stability awaits. Reality? Corporate loyalty died decades ago. Layoffs hit quarterly, AI threatens roles, gig work masquerades as flexibility, even secure jobs in tech or finance. Ask the 2023 wave of cuts. Salaries look safe until they're not. Now the uncomfortable math. Say you earn the median $62,000 full-time wage. After taxes, maybe $50,000 take home. Inflation at 2.7% erodes that by $1,350 yearly. If wages grow 3.8%, you net $650 ahead. Slim margin, factor in lifestyle adjustments. Upgrading to match Paisan, you're back to zero. Run this over a decade without investing. Wealth stalls. But park that extra in stocks. At 10% average, it snowballs. The hidden mechanism is simple. Assets build wealth. Salaries maintain survival. It sounds like rich dad wisdom, but it's grounded in data. Top earners escape by owning stocks, real estate, businesses. Their money works while they sleep. Yours trapped in the cycle. Contrast the hype. High salary equals success. Reality bites. Goldman Sachs data shows about 40% of households earning over $500,000 still live paycheck to paycheck. Lifestyle inflation turns luxuries into needs. Private schools, vacations, second homes, expenses balloon. There's quiet humor here. Millionaires crying broke over caviar budgets. But it's no joke for everyone else. Zoom out to the bigger picture. This trap fuels inequality on steroids. Oxfam reports that from 1989 to 2022, the top 0.1% gained roughly $39.5 million in average wealth each, while the bottom 20% gained under $8,500. In 2025 alone, the top 10 billionaires added $698 billion. The system is rigged for ownership, not labor. Critical sectors like healthcare and education siphon wages into profits for the elite. Risks mount. One recession, and the trap springs wider. Wealth evaporates for the salaried. It rebounds faster for asset holders. 2020 proved it. Stocks dipped, then soared 18.4% by year-end. Salaries, stagnant or slashed. The implications ripple outward. Society phrase, less mobility, more debt. Delayed families. The economy tilts toward consumption over creation. Power concentrates. In some measures, the top 1% owns more than the bottom 90% combined. So take a skeptical look. Is this inevitable or designed? Policies favor capital gains over wages. Corporations buy back shares instead of raising pay. The trap isn't an accident. It's architecture. So here we are, early 2026. Wages inch up. Prices nibble away. Stocks reward the already rich. You've seen the mechanics, the math, the myths. But one question lingers, unresolved. In a world where salaries chain you to the wheel, how long until you decide to own the machine instead?
Join Wealth Vector Finance and start thinking smarter about money.